Royal mail. These shears came by Royal mail. This is the International Scissor Sharpeners Association certification. I'm going to evaluate these shears that came from the UK by Royal mail. And so let's see if these are royally sharp and see if he passes. It came a long way. Went a long way over there and came a long way back. So I'm Bonnie Megowan, and I do these sharpening evaluations. They're basic. Do the shears cut? Is a convex shear convex? Is a bevel shear a bevel? And just do a very subjective evaluation of shear sharpening. And then the sharpeners are certified with the ISSA, which is the International Scissor Sharpeners Association. And it is truly international because we have probably, I would say, maybe 25% of our members are from outside of the United States. I've never really looked at the statistics, but we have a lot of people. And I'm heading off to Chicago to a hair show tomorrow. I'll be gone for 5 days. These came in, and I'm going to take the time today before I leave to look at him because I know he's in anticipation of what these shears look like. So I took him out of the box. I'm going to look over his little written test real quick. Oh, he's wrote something in, which is the finer grit. Oh, he missed that one. That's a question. Which is the finer grit? 150, 240, 360, or 1200? And he said he's only used the 180 to 240 on the Nebraska blade. So he's thinking of grit as you throw on there. I'm talking about grit on the blue film. So these come in grit. And see, this one's a 500 grit. And a 500 grit would be coarser than a 1200 grit. So he answered it right. He's got D. He circled C and he wrote D, so he got that one right. Never mind. Never mind. What can be done if the tips don't meet? I would do A first, trim the bumper, and work back. Yes, that's true. I mean, the question is, what can be done if the tips don't meet? It was trim the bumper, bend the handle, shorten the tip, or all of the above. So he did circle D, all of the above, but he said he would start with trimming the bumper. I don't know, it just depends on if there's room for the bumper. That is the best one to do. So, okay, so we're good on the test. He's passed. Let's look at these shears. So this is number, because we give all of these a number. 31, oh, that's not my handwriting. That must be Gene's handwriting. He still can't write. 310863. Or maybe it just kind of got wet and dirty. Okay, so the first thing I do is toilet tissue. See if it cuts dry, see if it cuts wet. Then I'll check it on hair, and then we'll see if it's convex and if it bevels a bevel. So dry, I'm pulling my thumb out. Oh, that cuts smooth. Dry, pulling my thumb out. Uh-oh. It cuts good if I'm back a little bit. If I'm all the way up, oh, it cuts good there. I guess that first one, we'll say it cuts good. I think I'm mostly packed for this show. I don't like flying to hair shows. Driving is easier because you can carry more, but oh, it cut, but not super. You see? It's kind of a raggedy cut. Oh, there, that time it cut. I guess it cuts. It's weird how sometimes it'll cut better. If I go further back, see, it doesn't cut. If I start about here, the center, it does. Let's see how this one cuts wet. And I think this is the same issue. No, it's not cutting wet at all. See how they cut hair, and then we'll take a look at them. Cutting hair. This is some blonde hair. It's always easier to test on blonde hair. Convex edge. Oh, nice clean cut. So no customers are going to complain about that shear. It's pushing. You see that a little bit? Not bad. A little bit of pushing. So when people are sending these from another country, I'm usually a little bit more generous than I am from other places. But let's take a look and see if these are really convex or bevel. So the bevel edge, what I'm looking at, he's taken the serration off, and that's a personal choice. You can certainly do that, and so feels pretty sharp, reasonably sharp. And he didn't try to work a ride line here, so that's good. I think I would have made these a little bit tighter because they're plastic handles. And see, I've packed my stuff for the show, but let's see if I can tighten it with this UFO tool and see if it cuts wet. And it's hard to tighten. It's a little bit tighter. Let's see if that fixed the wet cut. No, it's just not cutting wet, is it? So what I'm thinking, I said it felt reasonably sharp. The angle looks consistent. Where's my magnifier? Let's see if I see anything weird going on here. He has a nice consistent edge all the way down. It's not like he's changing from one angle to another. I'm not sure why these aren't cutting better. The tip's a little pointy. They're okay. I'm going to say I mean, it is a beveled edge. I'm going to say they pass, but it's not like as good as some, but they're not good expensive shears. Oh yeah, these are convex. You can still see a little of the bevel left behind, but it's primarily convexed. And let's look at the ride line. I'm not liking the ride line. Let me show you what I'm seeing here. I'm not sure what he's using to do the ride line with. So back here, you see it looks rough. It's not shiny. And then if I bring this on down to the tip, it's really no ride line at all. So I'm not sure what he's done the inside ride with. And when I run my nail down here, it feels rough. I'm still feeling nicks. I feel a nick here. And I feel a lot of little nicks right along in there. I don't think he's done enough on the ride line and may not have taken off enough metal. Now, they cut. And you notice in his answer was about if the tips don't meet, he would trim the bumper. See, on this one, I probably wouldn't have trimmed the bumper because, see, this is a screw-in bumper. And now it goes click, 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 click. Where the better choice would have been to bend the handle or shorten the tip. And so customer is not going to like that click, click, click sound. These are close to passing. I hate it when we have to send them back to another country and all the expensive, all that. I'm gonna leave it up to him. Let me know if you want me to send them back to redo them, or if you would like to explain to me how you would fix it. And what I'm looking at is primarily the ride line on this one, and getting all the nicks out, because there's still nicks there. There's nicks in this one. Like I said, I'm still not sure why this one's not cutting better. But the convex one's the one I'm most concerned about, so if he can tell me how he would do it differently, I'll pass him with a, I used to be a school teacher, would be a low C, but it'd be passing, just because I don't want to send it back. But he's got to explain to me maybe what he thinks he did wrong on the ride line, how he would improve that, and how he would get the nicks out, and what other choices he would have other than trimming the bumper. Screw-in bumpers don't really have enough plastic, enough meat there for you to trim out, so you need to probably go to some other options to make the tips meet. Let me look at the edge on this one more time, see if there's anything else to go along with this. It's got a, looks like a consistent angle. So, yeah, a low C if he can answer my questions successfully. But preferably I'd like to send them back and let him sharpen them again if he wants to pay the double shipping by royal mail. So, it's low to mediocre passing. I think with a little bit of instruction, a little bit of more knowledge about it, especially the ride line work, it would be helpful. Sharpeners Jam, we're having a class on the inside of the blade, and that would be a good class for him to take. Those will be available also online, so just anybody who's interested in knowing more about sharpening the inside of the blade, which is so important. I know some people say, oh, you don't do anything to the inside. Oh, yeah, you do. But not too much, but you know how to do it right. So that's for this Royal ISSA.